Rome feared no enemy. Its armies conquered nations. Kings bowed before its power. Entire civilizations collapsed beneath the march of Roman legions. From the cold forests of Gaul to the deserts of North Africa, Rome expanded like an unstoppable force of destiny, and at the center of that empire stood one man, Julius Caesar, a military genius, a conqueror worshipped by his soldiers, a politician so powerful that even his enemies could not ignore him. To the people of Rome, Caesar was more than a general. He was becoming a legend. His victories in Gaul transformed him into the most celebrated man in the Republic. Entire tribes fell before him. Cities surrendered at the mere mention of his name. Roman banners spread farther than ever before, and with every victory, Caesar's influence grew stronger. But Caesar's greatest enemy was not waiting beyond Rome's borders. It was already standing beside him, smiling at him, walking beside him, calling him friend. Because while Caesar was conquering the world, betrayal was quietly growing inside Rome itself. The Roman Republic had existed for centuries. Its leaders believed no single man should ever hold absolute power. The Senate ruled through balance, alliances, and competition between powerful families. But Caesar was changing everything. Every military victory made him richer. Every public speech increased his popularity. Every celebration made the Senate weaker. Soon, something terrifying became impossible to ignore. The people loved Caesar more than they loved the Republic itself, and for many senators, that was dangerous. Among the men watching Caesar rise was Gaius Cassius Longinus. Cassius was intelligent, proud, and deeply resentful of Caesar's growing dominance. Publicly, he claimed to defend the Republic. He warned others that Rome was slowly surrendering its freedom to one man. But beneath his speeches about liberty was something darker: jealousy. Cassius could not stand watching Caesar tower above every other Roman, especially him. Then there was Marcus Junius Brutus. Unlike Cassius, Brutus was respected throughout Rome for his honor, intelligence, and noble bloodline. Many Romans believed Brutus represented the traditional values of the Republic itself. But Brutus shared a deeply personal relationship with Caesar. Caesar trusted him, protected him politically, forgave him after previous conflicts. Some even believed Caesar loved Brutus almost like a son, which is why what happened next became one of the greatest betrayals in human history. Years earlier, Caesar had crossed the Rubicon River with his army, an act forbidden by Roman law. Generals were never supposed to march troops into Italy itself, but Caesar ignored tradition completely. The decision triggered civil war. His greatest rival, Pompey, fled Rome as Caesar's forces advanced. Eventually, Pompey was defeated, and Caesar emerged as the most powerful figure in the Republic. From that moment forward, senators quietly asked themselves one terrifying question. If Caesar had already broken the laws once, what would stop him from becoming king? For Romans, the word king carried centuries of hatred. Rome had overthrown its monarchy long ago specifically to prevent absolute rulers from controlling the state ever again. But Caesar's behavior increasingly alarmed people. Statues were built in his honor. His image appeared everywhere. Crowds celebrated him like royalty. Then came the title that changed everything: dictator for life. To Caesar's supporters, it meant stability. Rome had endured years of corruption, civil war, and political violence. Many believed only a strong leader could restore order. But to his enemies, the title sounded like the death of the Republic itself. That was when the whispers began. At first, the conversations were cautious. Quiet discussions in corridors, private dinners among senators, secret meetings behind closed doors. But slowly, those whispers became a conspiracy. Cassius moved carefully through Rome, approaching men who feared Caesar's growing power. If we do nothing, he warned them, the Republic dies. Some senators hesitated. Others agreed immediately. One by one, trusted men joined the plot. Among them was Decimus Junius Brutus Albinus, one of Caesar's closest allies and military commanders. This betrayal cut especially deep. Decimus was not simply another politician. Caesar trusted him personally. They had fought side by side in campaigns. Decimus had benefited enormously from Caesar's rise. Then there was Trebonius, another conspirator who once owed much of his success to Caesar himself, and Casca, known for his aggressive and unpredictable nature. But Cassius understood something critical. The conspiracy could never truly succeed without Brutus. Brutus had honor, reputation, public trust. If Brutus supported the assassination, Romans might believe the murder was an act of patriotism rather than ambition. So Cassius focused all his efforts on convincing him. According to ancient accounts, forged letters began appearing throughout Rome, supposedly written by ordinary citizens begging Brutus to save the Republic. Awake, Brutus. You alone can save Rome. Whether Brutus truly believed Caesar threatened the Republic remains debated even today, but eventually he joined the conspiracy. And the moment Brutus agreed, Caesar's fate was sealed. The conspirators began gathering regularly under cover of darkness. Some argued Caesar should be killed publicly. Others wanted to eliminate his allies as well. There were heated arguments about bloodshed, but Brutus objected strongly. He insisted the assassination should appear noble, not savage. They would kill Caesar only, nothing more. It was a decision that would later destroy them all. Meanwhile, Caesar remained unaware of how close danger truly was. Or perhaps he simply refused to believe betrayal could come from men he trusted so deeply. Warnings began appearing everywhere. Rumors spread through Rome. Allies advised Caesar to be careful. Even his wife, Calpurnia, sensed something terrible approaching. According to ancient historians, Calpurnia suffered horrifying dreams shortly before Caesar's assassination. In one vision, she saw Caesar covered in blood while Romans celebrated around him. Terrified, she begged him not to attend the Senate meeting scheduled for March 15th, the Ides of March. For a moment, Caesar considered staying home, but the conspirators had already prepared for this possibility. That morning, Decimus Brutus arrived personally at Caesar's residence. This was critical, because Decimus was one of Caesar's most trusted friends. When Caesar hesitated because of Calpurnia's fears, Decimus persuaded him gently. Would Rome believe its greatest general was afraid of dreams? Would Caesar allow superstition to control him? Slowly, Decimus convinced him to leave the house. It was one of the cruelest betrayals of the entire conspiracy. A trusted friend personally guiding Caesar toward death. As Caesar traveled through Rome that morning, the city continued normally. Merchants sold goods in crowded streets. Citizens filled the forum. Politicians moved through marble corridors discussing ordinary business. Almost nobody realized that within hours, Rome would change forever. At some point during Caesar's journey, a man named Artemidorus reportedly pushed through the crowd holding a letter. Inside the letter were the names of the conspirators themselves. A final warning: beware the conspirators. But Caesar never read it. The Senate chamber awaited him. Inside, the conspirators struggled to control their nerves. Some carried hidden daggers beneath their robes. Others whispered final instructions. Because despite all their speeches about liberty and freedom, they were preparing to murder the most powerful man in Rome. Meanwhile, Trebonius prepared for his own role in the conspiracy. He would distract Mark Antony outside the chamber. Antony was fiercely loyal to Caesar and physically dangerous. If he remained near Caesar during the attack, the assassination might fail completely. As Caesar approached the Senate, Trebonius intercepted Antony and led him away in conversation. Inside the chamber, the conspirators moved carefully into position around Caesar's seat. Then Caesar entered. At first, everything appeared normal. Senators greeted him respectfully. Voices echoed softly across the chamber. The atmosphere felt calm. Caesar sat down. Then the trap closed. One conspirator approached pretending to present a petition. Others quietly moved closer. Then suddenly, movement. Casca struck first. Steel flashed from beneath his robe as the blade lunged toward Caesar's neck. But the attack was clumsy. Caesar reacted instantly, grabbing Casca's arm in shock. "What is this?" he reportedly shouted. For one brief second, the chamber froze, then Rome exploded into violence. The conspirators surged forward together. Daggers flashed through the air. Cassius stabbed. Casca attacked again. Decimus joined the assault. Other senators panicked and fled the chamber in terror. Some screamed. Others froze in horror as blood splattered across the Senate floor. Caesar fought desperately, not against foreign enemies, but against men he once trusted. Then, through the chaos, Caesar saw Brutus, and everything changed. Because Brutus was different. Cassius was a rival. Casca was aggressive, but Brutus was trusted. loved, respected. According to tradition, Caesar looked toward him and uttered the words that would echo across history forever. "You too, Brutus." Whether he truly spoke those exact words remains uncertain. But the phrase survived because it captured something timeless: the unbearable horror of betrayal. Not political betrayal, personal betrayal. In that moment, Caesar stopped resisting. The blades continued striking him again and again. 23 stab wounds tore through his body. Finally, the most powerful man in Rome collapsed beneath the statue of Pompey, the very rival Caesar had defeated years earlier. The irony was almost poetic. Pompey's statue now overlooked Caesar's corpse. The chamber descended into panic. The conspirators stood covered in blood, believing they had saved the Republic. They shouted about liberty, about freedom, about saving Rome. Some expected the people to celebrate them as heroes. Instead, Rome erupted into chaos. The public did not rejoice. They were horrified. Caesar had been wildly popular among ordinary Romans. To many citizens, the assassination did not look noble. It looked like treachery. Meanwhile, Mark Antony escaped and quickly began organizing Caesar's supporters. The conspirators had made a catastrophic mistake. They killed Caesar, but spared his allies. Then came Caesar's funeral, and with it, Rome changed forever. During the ceremony, Antony delivered one of history's most famous speeches. He displayed Caesar's blood-stained clothing before the crowd. He described the wounds. He named the conspirators. And when he mentioned Brutus, the trusted friend among the killers, the crowd erupted with fury. Rome exploded into violence. The conspirators fled for their lives. Civil war consumed the Republic once again. Friends turned against friends. Roman armies marched against Roman citizens. The streets filled with fear, revenge, and bloodshed. Eventually, Cassius and Brutus gathered armies to fight against Antony and Caesar's adopted heir, Augustus. The final confrontation came at the Battle of Philippi. The conspirators lost. Cassius committed suicide after believing the battle was hopeless. Brutus soon followed. And with their deaths, the dream of saving the Roman Republic died with them. Ironically, the men who murdered Caesar to stop dictatorship achieved the exact opposite of what they intended. Their betrayal destroyed the Republic forever. From the ashes of civil war emerged Augustus, Rome's first true emperor. The Republic Caesar's assassins claimed to protect vanished permanently. In the end, Julius Caesar was not destroyed by foreign armies. He was destroyed by the men who stood closest to him, men he trusted, men he protected, men who smiled beside him while secretly preparing the knives that would end his life. And perhaps that is why the story of Caesar still survives more than 2,000 years later. Because empires are rarely destroyed by enemies alone. Sometimes they are destroyed from within. If you enjoyed this story of betrayal, war, and power, subscribe to Astrasic Empire of Lies for more true stories where loyalty collapses, empires fall, and history reveals its darkest secrets.